friends, welcome back to No Ma'am. Tonight we are joined by a queen who's booked, blessed, and probably has you yelling yes ma'am from the audience.
Yes, but before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Mail.
All right, friends, if you've ever been to a New York City drag show and left hoarse from screaming, she may be the reason. Say hello to the incredible Inita D. Welcome to No Ma'am.
Welcome. I live for it. Oh my god, yes, I'm living for this energy. I know you have a lot of pent up energy after this, like, what was it, 2-3 month break?
Yeah, it was like 2.5 months before I started doing drag. Yeah, girl. Pent up energy, but like my body, my soul, and my spirit is like revitalized. Also, there's been so much shit going on too that I'm like, I love ranting, which is why I'm happy y'all have me in this podcast. So I'm like, oh, you give me a chance to talk? Oh, it's over for you hoes. Okay.
I should have popped some popcorn. I should have got myself some
Girl, bitch, you should have just got a buffet. You should have ordered that seamless right now, okay?
Yeah, it'll probably still get here on time before we finish the episode too.
I mean, wake it up.
Right. So let's start off with an icebreaker, but I'm throwing you a curveball because usually we do this one a little bit later on, but I want to start off with this one.
Okay.
So I want you to describe your drag as if it were a grinder bio.
Okay, my drag as if it was a grinder bio. Okay, it would definitely be verse, affordable, looking for now, can only travel to certain distances, mostly hosting, guaranteed a good time. Might not be a long time, but it will be a memorable time. We'll let you release any tension you have in whatever means necessary.
That is the best one we've gotten so far. Oh my god, I love that.
Thank you.
And I feel like
that's so good.
Listen, as somebody, as people who have like been following you for years and have been watching you perform for years, that is very accurate. Very, very accurate. Yes.
Listen, I feel, because listen, my drag is like, it's fun. I say verse because, I mean, I'm verse out of drag, but like I am versatile in terms of like what I can give you, how I perform, the numbers I do, my aesthetic, you know, like the looks that I bring. And so I'm versed in all aspects and it's a fun time. It might be a short show. It might be a long show. It might be a viewing party. I might just be hosting shit, but I'm a host. You're going to have fun. It just not might be the whole night. I got money to make, girl.
I love that.
I mean, you know, that's a booming market actually. So you may be able to make money while you host. Just just saying.
Okay.
You might be right. I should have thought about that before. Damn.
Listen, it's a new market. Like, tap into it.
That's why I want my business suit, bitch. I'm ready. Come on.
It's giving I own 51% of this company.
It's really I own 100% of my debt, but it's okay.
Same.
That also true.
Same, but I just don't claim it.
Two things can be true at the same time. So yeah, that's also right.
Yep.
Okay. So now, Inita, I want to know what inspired you to start doing drag. What are some of your influences? Where did the name Inita D come from? You know, just give the people an intro to you.
Yeah, so I started doing drag, 1, for rent, and 2, because my drag sister is Hibiscus. We have been friends for well over 10 years, and we both used to be on the same cheerleading team. And she started drag a year before me. We used to back up dance for other drag queens for like Miss Gay America and stuff. And so that's how we got close. And then she started doing drag, and she like pushed me to do a competition at Rise Bar because they were doing like their Amateur Legend Wednesday competition once a month, and it was Beyonce themed. And she's like, girl, you know all her choreo, like you already dance all the time, like, you know, you should do it. And so she like encouraged me to do it. We spent the month before doing it. I got everything, like she guided me, and then her drag mom's Andorra Tete, and Andorra put me in drag in terms of drag makeup for the first time. And I had known Andorra from back advancing as well. So I asked Andorra to be my mom. And then I did the competition, won, and I got like my first weekly book gig winning at Rise Bar, bitch. I was like, oh, come on, y'all. You make reparations. Yes. So I started that way. And, you know, Girl, and I started that way. And the thing for me too is originally I worked around drag queens too, and I saw all the work that goes into drag that I didn't want to do it. Like I was like, I don't want to put my dick in my butt. I don't want to like put tons of makeup on in the summertime, especially summertime, like racism. I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I just want to be a dancer, a backup dancer. And then when I did drag, it was like, oh, like it just like my eyes were open. It was like, I belong here because I was the center of attention. I had artistic control, of what I wanted to perform, how I wanted to perform, all that stuff. And so that's how I got into drag. And then like my name, when I was talking to friends, originally I was thinking of calling myself Cece because my name out of drag is Zachary, but it's spelled with 2 C's. So it's Zaccary. And then my mom's name is Christine, but her nickname was Cece. So I wanted to do like Cece as like kind of like my two, like the 2 letters of my name, but tied to my mom because I love her so much, and stuff like that. And then my friend was like, "Girl, you a hoe? Like that's too classy for you. Like that's too woman, too classy. You're a hoe. You're a whore." And I said, "But that's because I need dick." And then literally I said like I need dick, and I was like, I need a D. And I chose to do D and not dick because I'm a business person first and foremost, and I need to be marketable everywhere. Like a verse from my Grinder ad, I am verse, okay? So if I went with D because I wanted to like have that pun for adults to get it. If I worked in areas where family friendly, it wouldn't be as obvious or kind of like vulgar. And also the D stands for dollar, drink, dependency, then dick, because I want all 4.
I love that.
That is my new life motto. Oh my God, that is amazing.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I mean, we kind of did something similar with our name, right? No ma'am. It's like, we say no ma'am. Well, I in my family, we say no ma'am all the time. It's a Southern thing. So we'd be like, no ma'am, child. Like, what we doing? So that's one part. And then us as, the gays, we'd be like, no ma'am. Like, if something is bad, it's always no ma'am. And when Jhoany and I get together, we 2 shady bitches. So it's
we just give each other that look.
So a lot of the girls be no ma'am. Right.
But sometimes I have
the no ma'am look.
So you know what? Sometimes when we're out in public, we have to like elbow each other and be like, "Fix your face."
Yeah, we do. We have a really bad habit of doing that.
Yeah. I like to put on I wouldn't say a poker face, but like just like I'm very aware of my surroundings most of the times, but there are times like my core friends and like my house family, there are times when like maybe someone's performing, something's happening, and I will make like the subtlest face, and like I'll get a text from my daughter being like, "Bitch, fix your face." I'm like, ooh. I forget, because like I won't say anything, I won't act in a way, but sometimes my face be like the ultimate traitor and will deceive me and show it. And I'm like, damn, girl, I really thought I was being nice.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of your daughter, we really need to go to Brooklyn and go see her. It's just every time we say we going to, our schedules something always happens, and I be feeling bad because I really want we want to go see her. Yes, and we
girl,
like,
I want to go see her too.
Like,
we'll go together. I love her.
We can make a trip out of it.
You hear me? I love you, bitch. But she and girl, it's nothing. No tea, no shade. And if anyone from Brooklyn, y'all, they can attest the same way. Going to Brooklyn feels like going to a new country. Just like Brooklyn people coming to the city. It's because like I can get to Queens and Astoria, which has like a nice queer nightlife there. I can get there faster than to Brooklyn. Right? And even if I'm in Queens, I still got to go through Manhattan most of the time to get to Brooklyn. Brooklyn is its own country, bitch. And I mean, I live for it. They have everything there. They have all the clubs, events, bars, like everything is everything that's here in the city is in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So I get it, but it'd be far. And Soraya be like, that should be far, girl. I love her. I love my daughter, but she lives in Manhattan. I'm like, girl, just come up. Let's play video games.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
We love her too, but we be trying. Okay, so speaking of obviously New York City, right?
No ma'am.
Speaking of New York City drag, it is not for the weak. So, what was some of your trial by fire moments in the scene?
Oh shit. I think the biggest thing I would say is the the trial by fire. I would say for sure. I think finances is the main thing that is always challenging in New York City. Because, and this is a perfect example, when I started drag at Rise, like I said, right, and I got booked for a weekly, it was an easy gig. I went there like, I think it was Friday or Saturday nights, from like 12 to 2, I just hung out, hosted. I did like a pop-up number, and that was it. Easy breezy. But because I had just started drag too, I didn't have a lot of like clothing, hair, costumes, all that. And every week I was buying, like, I was going to like the vintage store, not Salvation Army, but like a thrift shop or whatever. or, you know,
Mhm.
trying to buy like a quick outfit to put together, trying to buy some more makeup, and it just added up. And so the hard thing, especially when you're starting, is having the finances to continue with longevity, because it is one of those things, because you're your own business essentially. There's a lot of loss before there's a lot of gain in terms of money, right? And so it got to a point for me where it was like I couldn't keep up doing it weekly, even though that seemed you have enough time. I'm only doing one gig. I'm getting paid like, let's say 150 or whatever. For me to take that money that I just made plus whatever tips and constantly spend it, travel, get there, get new drag, it was a lot. So I had to take a break for about like a few months. Like I quit it in a respectful way, and I love Rise. I still work there too. But I had to quit, and I like went to like my day job, and I was like serving for about like 6-7 months. But during that time period, I had a little bit extra money, so I was using that to build up my drag. So when I came back, I had about like a month or two of like numbers, looks, and stuff like that. So I think that's the biggest thing that is the challenge for anyone starting drag in New York City, especially because New York City is expensive, is you have to be prepared, one, to not really make a lot of money when you first start, and two, to spend a lot of money when you first start, unless you have spent time before you started building your drag, which most people, in my opinion, don't really do. Like, no one I know that started drag was like, took 3 months, even if they know how to sew, to make all these outfits, wigs, and whatever, and then debut. It's very rare that happens. So finances is a trial by fire. And I think the second thing is just, and this is later in your career, I feel like, is learning how to say no to opportunities, and also being more wise in which gigs you say yes to or not, whether it's because of the pay or because of the requirements of it. You know, one thing that we, you know, especially in the field that you get a lot of your gigs through word of mouth and networking, a lot of times you might feel the pressure, especially in New York City, to constantly want to say yes to everything because you're trying to get your brand out there. And it's like, it's your marketing. However, at some point, you do have to say no to things because you need time for your body to rest. You need a chance for you to have the energy to work on new things. One of the things I was finding, I think like in year 4 or 5 for me, or like right before COVID, one of the issues I was finding was like I was doing so many gigs that I didn't have time to come up with new mixes or new concepts or work on a new look or get new, you know, it was like kind of, it started to become redundant and not like progressive for me. And it was no one's fault. It was just I was working too much that I didn't have energy to do that. So finding that balance is the second hardest thing in terms of like not having to say yes to everything. And I say that later in your career, not in the beginning. I think in the beginning, you should be saying yes to as many opportunities as you can that work for you and what your brand is. But later on, as you become more established, you should become more confident in saying no to things or asking for more money to do it.
I love that.
So I wore my business wig, bitch. I'm telling y'all.
Okay. So now I want to know, what's your worst drag fail story that still haunts you? Like it was a bad gig or maybe even like a horrible audience member.
Shit. Y'all got me going through the years. First, like drag, like experience or whatever, in a sense. I think the worst might have, it's worse, but I mean, kind of worse, but yeah, it's worse. I was doing this brunch with Misty Mountains, Davenport, and this was before COVID. So this was when they had it at La Poperia next to the Ritz, right? That little small restaurant right next to it. That's where it used to be. So it's very tiny. If you've ever been, it's very narrow. And they have these huge, like, it sits like 10 people most, but it was still fun. But they have these huge, like, not champagne, but like mimosa glasses. So if you get like a big ass one for the table, they, whatever. I, being the goddamn Cirque du Soleil that I am, want to do splits, tricks, and dips. So I do a forward roll into a split, but I didn't gauge how like much distance I had. And so I hit the wall, and that big ass one, it fell and shattered on this woman. Girl, what I tell you, I looked up with pure fear. Now, it was the worst experience because like for me, it was like, it was embarrassing, one, but two, I don't mind if I slip and fall. Like, yeah, I might be embarrassed, but it's just me getting hurt. You know what I mean? For me, it was bad because I'm like, this is an establishment with someone that's a customer. They could have been hurt really bad. Luckily, it just had shattered a little bit on their shoulder. And then they were like, keep going. And the bitch paid me $20. I said, girl, I was like, I need to start dropping more glasses on white women more, you know, because I'll make more money.
Oop.
I mean, that's what it's given.
You got to guilt these white women into giving you more money.
You know, I mean, like, I love that you're
Talk
a
about
woman, and I'm here for
reparations.
you from a person that dresses up as a woman, but like, you still white. Anyways, I mean, and maybe I think also because she was a little lesbian, she gave me lesbian vibes. So she was like, "Girl, I'm used to shattered glass. I build houses. Like, we good." You know what I'm saying? But I think
Thank you.
that was my worst
That's funny.
experience. That was, and on like the worst in personal, I think it's not like one specific example, but I have had several examples or situations. No, bitch, I'm lying. I'm sorry. I just saw this. I did a gig, a private gig in Long Island. Okay, so we're already starting off crazy.
Ooh.
Right. Now, it was this girl that came to my brunch. She was having her birthday party, and she's like, "Hey, I just went to your brunch. You were so amazing. I used to be a dancer. I would love for you to come to my house. I'm having a birthday party, but I would love to have you as like the surprise performance." I said, "Okay." My thing when I do private events, I always ask, like, send me pictures of the place I would perform. Do you have speakers? Do you have a sound system? What's that? Because I perform sometimes where I've heard like myself breathing, and I'm like, it's so awkward, right? And so I went through all this. She's like, "Yeah, we have these speakers. This is the backyard. We have a patio area. My plan is for you to perform here." I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Is the speakers loud enough? Because if you can hear me walk around, it does become awkward." And one thing people forget is that what the show you see at a venue is not always going to happen or be able to happen at a house or at a private space because they have equipment, they have sound, they have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's like, "Fine." I get there. First of all, one of the speakers breaks. Second of all, she didn't tell none of her friends, and she's straight, right? So her husband was nice. He picks me up. He came to brunch too. She didn't tell none of her friends. All the friends that came were, from my experience, I could tell they had never either gone to a drag show or seen a drag queen besides maybe what they've seen on TV. They were standing there, and it was all straight people, straight couples, and they were all standing there. The music was low, so you could hear me walk around. I did like 2 numbers or so. And then it was like the men were like smiling, but then looking nervous, like they didn't know what to do. But at the same time, I felt like I was being looked at like a circus monkey, like a court jester, instead of being appreciated as an artist. Like, it was like, look, we got this gay person in a wig to perform, and it didn't feel like it was entertainment. It felt like I was there just to humor them. Like, I felt like I knew when they went back home, they probably were like, "That fucking faggot." You get what I'm saying? Like, that was the vibe I felt. And it was the most uncomfortable experience, too, that when I left, I mean, she was fine. She paid me. She picked me up. I missed my train after. So, but that was fine. When I left, I had to message her. I was like, "Hey, listen," I was like, 3 things. "I'm happy you booked me. Thank you for paying me on time. Thank you for paying me, Kat. 1, your speaker broke. It was very awkward. 2, your friends had no idea that I was there. And the vibe and the energy from them, like some of them were nervous to even tip me. It didn't feel like they were someone that was an ally of my community, and I felt more like a spectacle than someone to celebrate your birthday. So moving forward, if you ever book any nightlife person, be aware that you let your friends know first, so that the homophobic ones stay home and the ones that really care for my community show out. You know, and that was, I would say, was my worst experience. I was good, I was stunning, but the experience itself was not
Yeah. So, talk to us a little bit about this wedding that everyone has been seeing online, and you performed at the wedding, and it's like this big old thing. Like, you gotta tell a friend.
Like, bitch, am I getting famous? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, let me tell you. Ooh, I'm so glad to be on a podcast. Y'all don't understand. Okay, so here's the deal. So my friend George, the one that's been like, because they did an interview. Bitch, first of all, I didn't get in this interview, but I think they did it after or whatever. And I'm like, girl, and I was already back in New York. My friend George used to live in New York City. I met him at a brunch. Everything happens at a brunch. I met him at one of my brunches,
Always.
Right? He was living in New York. Years go by. He moves to LA. He finds his partner there. They get engaged, whatever. So he hits me up like last year, and he's like, "Hey, bitch, we're getting married." I said, "Work." He was like, "But I want to do." My friend's extra, as you could tell. Like, that whole idea for the wedding thing was his idea. His partner, Lior, is like more the calm one, so they work out perfectly together. So he's like, "I want to do this big like wedding party like the day before." His original idea, this bitch, and I'm like, I love him. He's Greek. He wanted to do it in Greece. I don't know if it was Mykonos or somewhere. He wanted to do it like a beach party. Fly us out there. And I said, "Girl, get me with some Greek dick. Like, let's go." Anyways, but things changed because we had to think about like, girl, listen. He was like, "Hey, we're gonna change the place. We're not doing Greece anymore. It's just easier for family to travel and stuff. It's just easier to do in LA." So I was like, okay, cool. So we get the date, right? I go to LA in November for not this past one, but last year's November for Thanksgiving, and to see my family who was living out there at the time. And then I meet up with him. So we go over the ideas, everything, blah, 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 blah. Bitch, we get to fast forward to like right before Pride, right? I, for some reason, thought the wedding was going to be like in August because that was the original date. Something happened where I forgot, like we had messed up with communication where he changed it to May, right? I believe it's May, yes. Or like the first week of June or something. Messed up my ACL in May, right? So now I'm over here, like it gangster lean, but not for the right reasons. And then he texts me like the beginning of May. He's like, hey, I can't wait. Like one more month. I'm so excited. And I remember this clearly. I'm at work, like in my brace, right? And I'm like, what do you mean 1 month? And he's like, girl, the wedding's in a month. And I said, no, it's not. So I'm freaking out, right? So, but we had already like I had created because he wanted 3 sets of about 10 minutes of like early 2000 music. And it'd be like a 10-minute set. We perform, me, the dancer, take a break, everyone's singing, come back and do it again, right? So the music had already been made. We had worked together on the music already. I already was able to get my dancers to agree for the dates. When he tells me, bitch, I'm like, oh, girl, now I have a month and I haven't choreographed anything. And when I tell you, like, this was the biggest project, but I was so happy because for the longest I have manifested or also like put in the universe, I not only want to do drag, but I love choreographing. I love making numbers. Most of the numbers and dance routines that I've performed at big events have been from my creation or collab with someone, but mostly mine, right? So it was the biggest like project for me, which I was happy as a choreographer. So I like within a month got my mom Andorra and Athena. I got 4 dancers. We had rehearsals. I did the 3 sets, choreographed everything. Added a little bit from like old school, like, you know, the dance moves from some of the songs. And then we flew out there. And it was crazy because I had to choreograph myself doing certain things. But then when I injured myself, I had to like take out my dip. I had to take out my split, you know. So it was very intense because it was all in a month. It was very stressful because it was right before Pride Month. And it was stressful because I also had less mobility because of the injury. And I didn't know I tore my ACL. I thought it was like a sprained MCL like I had 2 years ago. So I was like, and then the crazy part about it was that the weekend of their wedding, that Thursday was DC Pride. No, it was World Pride in DC. And I got booked to do 2 gigs. So I drove to DC with my friends, did 2 gigs, did not sleep because I had to fly out Friday morning from DC all the way to Cali, do rehearsal, and then we did the event Saturday. When I tell you I felt like the ultimate privileged white woman at this gig, bitch, I was, because it was like in Beverly, I don't even know what hill it was. It was on a hill in Cali. Y'all saw the videos. It was on this fucking mansion hill on the, bitch, the hill has eyes, the hills have money. It was on this thing. It was like, it was beautiful. All of George and Leor's friends and family are gorgeous. Like between like Greece and like he was Persian. Yeah, Persian. Like it was, and just, I felt so, and I'm half white. So the half white side was like, yes, you made it. And the half black side was like, girl, don't get trapped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not get out the sequel.
Yes, but it was giving very Mykonos. So they did do a really great job in terms of like having like, this is how you party in Mykonos, bitch. Like very much that. So,
and George is very much that. George is like, he's always extra in the best way possible. He loves things grand. Like when we were talking to, and even as you've seen in his video, he was saying like the wedding was his afterthought. Like his main thing about this whole entire wedding was he want like this party. It was the biggest thing he wanted for himself, his husband. Like that was the main focus. The wedding was like secondary, not to put the husband down, but it was just like, this was like out of everything, he was like, I can make changes for everything else. We can change the venue for the wedding, we do, but I want this specifically, like this part, this wedding party, I want this to happen. So it was great to, one, be trusted by a friend of mine to get such a big project. And on top of that too, which take notes for anyone else getting married, he paid very well and covered a lot of the expenses. And I think that's a really important thing too when it comes to private events, is like all my dancers got paid, flight hotel was paid for, you know, and I'm not trying to blast him or whatever. It's just like, it was a really big project with a lot of demands, but in the best way possible, but it paid well. And all of the dancers, including myself, had an amazing experience. It went off really amazing and we were able to make it all work. And he is him and his husband and partner are so happy with everything, as you can see from their interview and the videos. And I'm happy as an artist to have been able to do that within a month's time. You know what I mean?
And you did a split with a brace. So,
girl,
how many people can say that?
They helped me, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
But,
y'all, girl, we gonna be doing
like,
splits for
hold me.
seniors. And I told them too,
Listen.
I was like, if you feel me squeeze your hand, that means lift me up, bitch, because I'm at my limit. So that's why I didn't do a, now listen, Hibiscus will say it too, I didn't do a full split, like my coochie didn't touch the floor yet, but it can. So don't play me, y'all, when you see this podcast. It can, or hear it. It can. But I was just trying to give him a little
We can
something.
attest to that, yes.
Okay, we can very much attest to the fact that the coochie hits the floor all the time.
In a good way, honey. Not because she old, but just in a good way. Like the coochie, like it's
not sagging. Girl.
Like it's not because the coochie sag. It's because
the coochie is just loose, honey. Get loose.
I mean, with a name like that, I can imagine why.
Girl, hey, I told y'all dick was the fourth thing, okay? Dollars first.
Speaking of your coochie on the floor, though, has a video.
Great segue.
From a very long time ago, from the ancient times, PC, pre-COVID. Well, do you want to put it up?
Yes, I do. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to share.
So it's from this like lost civilization called Boxers, Washington Heights.
My girl.
So, yeah, it's a little.
You're going right
snippet.
for that.
It's a little
you
snippet.
See what I'm going for the Mendingo, for the Plátanos.
Yes.
Que lo que?
Yes.
Ja, bitch, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm here for the community, okay? The community of big pingas, okay?
Yes. No. I mean, well, this was Boxers in the Heights back in the day, where like that was our place. We went there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we first saw you perform.
I loved it too. Yeah, I used to have, because I used to do like the Friday like pre-party, whatever thing there too, and I loved it there too. And I was so mad because when I right before I used to live like around the corner, like 59th or 158th, right? And when I moved, that's when they opened Boxers, Washington Heights, and I said I moved like 2 stops up further in the Heights, so I'm still here. Like, but I was just like, bitch, if I had lived down like around the corner from Boxers when I had gotten booked, girl, rolled right out of bed, bitch, just right up into the gig.
Yeah,
I used to live in that building.
It was like so much space. Did you?
I grew up in that building. That building.
Like,
no, I mean it was when I was a kid. But like you said, like had that been there when like I don't know, when I got older or whatever, or had I still lived there when it opened up, I would have been there every day.
Yeah,
every day.
Easy, like bitch, it would have been like my new Dunkin' Donuts. Girl, who needs an iced caramel latte when you could just get a vodka soda on a happy hour? I would never miss happy hour ever.
Those 2-for-1 deals. I still have. Where's my wallet? I still have the cards.
Too, girl, right? And no expenses because you ain't ever gonna do an Uber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we liked that location because it was the Boxers for us. Yes. The black and brown folks, right? That's who we saw. We got to be around people who listen to our kind of music. They didn't shy away from like the hip hop, the R&B, the reggaeton. Everything was there. And then obviously, who doesn't want french fries and big old dicks? Like, that's just
okay. And then a hookah in like 2 hours later. Right. You know what I'm saying? Girl,
the hookah was not good, it was for the but it was the experience.
Girl, now this ain't the Ritz-Carlton for hookahs, bitch. This is Boxers, so we gotta be realistic, okay? And in the economy, listen, it wasn't the best hookah, but at least you had it. Like I agree, it like they hired within the community people that worked in nightlife or worked there were a part of the community. If you were someone that is in the BIPOC community as well, you felt at home. And it's not that like I'll say white music, but it's not that like other type of music is bad. It's just that you don't hear a lot of hip hop, R&B, slow jams, like the good old classics kind of that is, celebrated within the BIPOC community. So you go to a place and you hear the jump off, I'm twerking ass in a wig and a bob or not. I'm twerking ass on one of these dancers and the hookah man. And the working there was the best too because the dressing room for the like drag artists was the same as the locker room for the go-go dancers. And I knew all of them. I mean, I also knew their wives.
I'm sure you did.
That were single and all of them. Every inch of let me stop, girl.
Listen, and then they had the cage. You remember the cage? They had the cage on top of the set. Oh, it was the best.
No, you know what my favorite memory there though is, and well, I'm sure you have this video and you do not.
I do have it on video.
I need to bring it up, but I was wasted. I was gone. But they started playing lip gloss, and I was dancing on. I think it was the couches, the table. I don't know where. I was dancing on top of something I should not have been dancing on, and that little Boxers boy kept coming and getting me down. And as soon as he turned around, I would get right back up there. I
Get
should
back
have been
up.
kicked out.
So you
I
were
should have been
you the
kicked
one
out.
that everyone rolls their eye at. You were like,
Yeah.
oh, she left there again, girl. Get her
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah. It was like these little tables. That's what he was dancing on. These little
Yep.
tables that they look like cubes. They look like Rubik's cubes, and they
Yes,
they
yes.
they lit up. And so every time, like, so the song came on,
Memories.
and Jhoany jumped on top of it,
I love that
and he
song.
started dancing. But we were all drunk, so we like, go Jhoany, get it, get it. Have it on video. I won't do that. Maybe it'll probably be a deep cut.
I mean, and also
Maybe-
it was there during the time period when there was like no queer spaces anymore, especially PLC queer spaces in the Heights, because like what was it? La Boy had closed, No Parking had closed already.
Castro.
You also had Castro closed, but what was the one that was used to be gay on Sundays only, and then it became fully gay? El Morocco, that was like on 145th. That closed too. So there was nothing. There was no queer spaces for, and there's a lot of queer people that live up here in the Heights. So it was like you had a place close enough. You didn't have to go all the way downtown, but also you knew the vibe. You knew the music you're gonna hear, the people you were like. It was.
The dicks you were gonna see.
I miss it.
I mean, no shade. They did have the best dancers, though. Like, there's no shade. Like, it was great.
They sure did.
Like, it was good. All right. So, what is one story that you would like your drag to tell?
Oh, bitch. Okay, I think I would love my drag to tell. The story I would love my drag to tell is the strength and the resilience that as a drag artist you have, but also as a human being, and that you are always capable of evolving and growing. For me, I have gone through, like, even this surgery, I've had many challenges in life, right? And I have used them to motivate me in my artistry, because I think drag is an art form. It is a business, but also it is an escape and it's therapy for people when you're going through shit that you can't verbalize what you're trying to say, but you can perform it, right? And for me, it's like I've lost really close loved ones over the years. You know, we went through COVID. So as nightlife people, like, that was challenging. I just had surgery, so I was out of work for a few months. I've had injuries throughout the years as well that's caused me to, places have closed. I've lost jobs. I've gained jobs and stuff. But my drag is resilient. My drag is always evolving. And even when I am facing a challenge or something has changed within myself, I am able to adapt and evolve and grow. And like the biggest example is like right now, I can't dance yet the way I used to, right? So like the splits, the dips, the cartwheels, even just really like dancing is very limited right now as I continue to heal. But during the 2.5 months that I was off, I said to myself, I said, you know what? When I go back to drag, I know it's going to be a minute before I'm performing again like I want to. Where can I elevate my drag? And what parts of things can I make better or evolve it? So I said, I'm very funny. I have a good sense of humor. Let's tap into that comedy and making more comedy mixes. I said, I'm going back to Hush. Tap into the research. They have that big ass LED screen. When I tell you, I feel like fucking a videographer now. Not even a videographer, like a video editor. What I don't know what to call it. But I am making visuals now for my numbers, and the 2 numbers I did, I had visuals for, and they were received really well, and it elevated my drag. It elevated my art form. When I've lost people, when I've lost really close loved ones, or had a really hard time, whether it's in love or finances, whatever. Sometimes I have a therapist too, but sometimes just performing a number dedicated to the person, or performing a number that speaks on what I am feeling or what I'm going through, is so liberating and so powerful, that because I'm expressing my emotions through my art form, and it can be so healing at the same time. So I think that's what I want my drag to tell, is that like no matter what you face in life, you can get through it. Realistically, though, only if you want to get through it. A lot of people, we have things that some things we don't have control of, and it is what it is, and you have to adapt and evolve. And some things you do. But some people will use whatever they're going through as an excuse of why they're not succeeding. It's like, no, bitch, you just really aren't thinking or finding or putting the effort and the will to get through it. If you want it, you will get it, but you have to work for it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a preacher now. With a preacher girl. I'm a deacon. Girl.
My eyes watered for a second, but I had to catch myself because these people are not about to see me cry for free.
Girl, I'm a Cancer. So when I tell you emotional intelligence, okay, yep, like, but it is true. Like, I think, and I don't say that I've gone through shit like no one else has. I think everyone, even the most successful people, the richest people, the wealthiest people, the celebrity, everyone goes through shit from their perspective of what shit looks like, right? And everyone has their challenges. But for me, I have had challenges that have been really have hurt, and really have taken me a while, especially when I talk specifically about loss because of the people that I've lost over the past 3-4 years of my life that were really core people to me. And also to say, and this might be a trigger warning for anyone listening, but I also am a survivor of suicide. So I've been there where I have felt like there is nothing, like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no grass on the other side. There's no hope. I have been there. And with my therapy, but also with my drag, I have used it as a not a conduit, but just as a means or a platform to help me heal, to help me get better, but also to show that you can do it. You can do it, but you have to work to do it. Nothing is owed to you. Nothing is handed to you. Nothing will get done unless you yourself do it. If you are tired of the shitty situation you're in, you have to say, I'm over this, and then you have to make the active change to do it. And it is easier said than done, but you have to do it. It's up to you. And that's what my drag is. It's like my drag is a testament that I'm a survivor in every aspect. My drag is a testament that, like, regardless of what I'm facing or maybe what I'm limited in that time period, I will make it work. You will have a good time. You will feel loved. We will be stupid. We will cry together. We will be angry together. And at the end of the day, we will remember each other. That's my drag.
Yep.
I love that.
And she needs a D. So just FYI.
I was gonna say I might sleep with you. You're right. Consensually, I might, like, if you. I mean, not with the wig on. I don't do that. Like, but I mean, if it's an Uber, I might suck a dick for a $60 Uber ride for free, baby. But listen, if you hot, I'm hot, and we sexually frustrated. Like, let me just take it off real quick. It's fine.
Right. Okay. So I think while we're riding this high, I think it is time for us to play our signature game, Not Too Much. So here's the rules. There will be 9 questions with 3 categories. The fun part about this is that 1, you are going to answer all 9 questions, but 2, you get to choose the order in which you want to go. So the 3 categories are You Ate That, She's That Girl, and Girl What. So which category would you like to go first?
Okay, Jeopardy, okay. I'm going to do Girl What.
Okay. So
I'll do Girl What for debt-free 99. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So the first question is, what is one social obligation that's always a waste of time?
Doing taxes. Girl, like, so annoying, especially when you don't like your government. Like, I don't need you finding me. Yeah. That, like, I gotta see how much I spent and how much now I owe you somehow magically when I'm still broke. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah,
is it bad that my first thought was funerals?
Oh, wait, it was what?
Funerals.
Why am I laughing at that? No, like, sometimes funerals be fun. If it's an old bitch that's croaking, you go in there to celebrate them, right? If they're a nice person, and you getting good food, especially in black culture, you eating down, you eating like fucking the clumps.
The repast
bitch,
is the best part. The repast. It's the best part. The repast. It's everything.
And then reverse and repass again. You know what I'm saying?
Hello. It's the best thing.
No, see, but for me, I'm Mexican, so our funerals are very like telenovela crying. Like everyone is like full on like telenovela tears and drinking tequila. So everybody, like the men get drunk, the women are crying. That's all it is.
And listen, and black people is like, we'll crack a joke even if it was serious, but then we'll eat some like banging ass soul food after.
Pretty much.
There's no joke cracking at all.
No. We have fun at funerals. It's something we do.
I love the cultural difference. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. The second question is fuck, marry, kill national landmarks. So we have Mount Rushmore, we have the Grand Canyon, and we have the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, I'm fucking the No, I'm marrying the Statue of Liberty because she's a woman. And she's sickening in her outfit. And the gag is her outfit's a reveal because originally I think it was like chrome. It wasn't chrome. It was like bronze or whatever, and then it oxidized. Huh? So she's a drag queen. I'm marrying her. I am fucking Mount Rushmore is with the presidents, right? Yeah. I'm fucking them up because they're colonizers, and I'm killing them because they're colonizers, and I'm fucking Grand Canyon because listen, any hole is a goal, and it's a long cavernous area. And I like to have space and room to play in.
Right. But I mean, the only thing about it is it's dry.
It's okay. I'll bring my water.
Okay. All right. We like that. All right. So next question is, which celebrities' nudes have you recently gone out your way to find?
Girl, how y'all know me? I have okay, I've looked for, I haven't found them, but I have searched for certain celebrity nudes. I looked for Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, because he's done a
Oh,
few,
there's
I think it
none.
was like Empire or something. He's done a few like, I know there's none, bitch, I wish. Because he's done a few sex scenes in like shows.
Ballers.
And I'm like,
Ballers, when he was fucking her on the table.
yes, on the table. And she was, girl, I said, put me in that outfit. I have the same wig.
Yes.
I've looked for his. I have looked at, is it Tyrese Jones? I feel like he has news that are slipped. I looked at Drake's. I'm not gonna lie, because when people were talking about Drake thing, I was like, let me see it. And I get why they were talking like slangy dangy, because it was long but not fully hard, but it was slapping around. And I said, no tea, no shade for a Canadian. Like I might, but then Kendrick roasted his ass. I was like, never mind. And
Right.
I have looked for
Minor,
and I don't really care for a minor. And I don't really care too much for him because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he was, he is homophobic. But 50 Cent. Because he did
Okay.
I don't know if it was a movie or a show where he does, his dick does show. And
Yeah.
sometimes this
was-
is the sad part about being a man.
It was power.
Sometimes
It was power. Where he was like, yeah, he got out of jail. Yeah. Kanan, you know?
and I hate sometimes being a horny mess, because you realize how much your brain, your thought patterns change when you are hot, horny, and bothered. Because I'm like, you don't support my community, but in my back of my brain, I want to munch on you fiercely. And then, but like, to then get back from my community, I want to like gobble his thing, like walk 10,000, but then I want to flip him over and fuck him. So that because you know how people have this whole thing about bottoms and being submissive. Like I want to do that power play where it's like,
yeah,
you want me, okay, bend over, you know, and like fuck the shit out of him.
Gotcha. You know, it's so funny. Okay, so I added an extra. So normally it's 3 questions, but I added an extra one because I knew that you was going to choose this one first. For some reason, I was like, I just know. And so the last question on this bonus is, what's something that you find sexy that you're pretty sure that no one else does?
What's something I find sexy that I feel like no one else does? Damn, that's hot. I gotta think, because now I'm thinking like physical or like actions. You know what I mean? Because like, in terms of physicality, I love a chest, but I feel like a lot of people do, especially when you can see it when they're wearing a shirt. You see the shape of it. Maybe like if someone is like, I don't know that I find sexy. I like humor, so like maybe if you're like kind of being a dork and like nerd. Oh, maybe this one, because it's like kind of more like preference based. If you're nerdy and you're like a gamer, but like also into anime and stuff, like I find that so attractive, because I'm into anime and I'm into gaming and all that stuff too. So when you're like a nerdy person, but then you're beefy and bulky, like you break the typical mold of what people would think you are based off of your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm munching you fiercely. Like I'm opening my whole, like the third gate, bitch. Like, and then I am plowing you to Pound Town. Do we want to?
All right. Heard that.
Gamers, y'all heard? If you want to go to Pound Town, Miss Inita D.
Baby, if you want to play with a new joystick, right here. 178th and Pinehurst, bitch. I'm not saying the full address, but right there.
Heard you. Okay, so now you ate that, and you have She's That Girl. What are we choosing?
Oh my God, for a second, when you said you ate that, I was like, thank you. But I was like, oh, that's... let's see. I was like, all right, okay, let's do You Ate That.
Okay, so, oh my God, this is going to be so good.
Here we go.
What drink triggers your gag reflex?
Wow. Okay. Damn. It's not so much a drink. Nope. It is. If it's a cocktail and a drink, it's definitely a Long Island iced tea, because it's so much liquor in one that you taste it right away. And also, I would have to say a Four Loko, because when I tell you I used to pregame, I love the flavor, but it's more of like trauma, because that was my pregame drink all the time. Like when I was younger. Even when it was killing people, I was like, let's go, bitch. That now it reminds me of all the drunken, nasty hangover nights and stuff that I had. But realistically, what gets my gag reflexes is just shots. Like a shot of vodka will and gin, which I don't know why
that's
someone would take a
water.
shot of gin, but I have done it before.
I don't see, one of my favorite drinks is a gin martini, which is literally just gin and vermouth. So it's basically just sipping straight gin.
You're not like taking it as a shot. Yeah, but you're like sipping on it,
maybe
right?
not the way you're drinking it.
You can't take him no place, child. Can't take him no place. No place. Okay. Second question is, what's the worst food to order on the first date?
You're after the verse queen. What? Anything is the worst thing to order on the first date. Because if I'm gonna test out this car after investing and possibly buying it, and we about to like reverse who's the driver, I don't need anything in there. Okay, what you should order is a water and a TikTok and your prep. That's it. I'm just saying. Especially because I verse, right? So now, if you are a bottom, I would say if from a bottom, like, and this is coming from the lens of a gay person, right, or like queer culture. If you're a bottom, I think anything spicy is risky to order on the first date. Okay, anything spicy and any beans or any greens because that's gonna make you gassy. Like, don't just girl pretend to eat it. Do like that girl does, the viral girl with the big lips, and she pretends to eat it and then she doesn't really eat it. She goes, do her, okay? If you're a top, get the steak and eggs. Live your life.
I have
Very much
had
that.
many tops be like, "You want to get some to eat first?" No, because then it's not happening. I don't know.
The top one time, literally take me like this is when I was younger too. We went out. Like, I went out to the club with my roommate. We came back. We got food, right? Or like McDonald's or something, right? Because it was like the only thing open. And he offered. He was like, "You want McDonald's?" And he got me food. And in my head, I was like, "He better come back home and be like, I want his bird." You know what I mean? Like, those all. And I was like, "But I'm hungry." I just shook ass. So I got it. And then we get back to the house and we're like making out and shit. And he's like, we're not starting to undress. And I was like, wait, like, you just fed me. Well, not me saying. I also did say you just fed me. So it sounds like animalistic. And he goes. And I swear, I kid you not. And I was like, when he said this, I immediately, my booty hole was like, we are not painting. I literally said, you fed me. And he goes, it's not like I'm fucking a pussy. Baby, when I tell you, you see my face right here? You see this? When I tell, girl, and the best thing about it, I think my body heard that. Like my whole body, like my booty hole was like, nothing's coming out of here. We fucked and literally nothing. No, like I was like, it was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, true tops. Okay, so last question in this is, if you were made out of food, what food would you be made out of?
If I was made out of food, damn. Shit. If I was made out of food, what food would I be made out of? Well, I don't know why immediately I thought of like spaghetti and noodles or like carby shit. I think because, not a dish, but just food, right? I don't know, because I would be like straight when I'm dry. And then like curvy when I'm wet. You know what I'm saying? So like I'd be the trade of the season. But also everyone needs carbs. You need your nourishment, you need your energy. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a dry, hot day, like I'm chilling. I'm not sweating, I'm good, I'm stiff. You know, if it's raining outside, I'm wacky wavy inflatable arm man.
Good point.
I can't.
Okay. Yes. All right. So the last category is She's That Girl. So the first question is, if you were a talking toy, what would be your catchphrase?
If I was a talking toy, what would be my catchphrase? Probably what I say all the time in my shows. Don't be a dick, just suck it. But if I was a toy, it would be a sex toy too. I'd be a vibrator for a bitch. I'd be the rabbit vibrator, the one that has like the clitoris like thing it's like, you know, the rabbit, it's like the dildo here, and then it has, that would be me. I would be, and I'd be like, don't be a dick, just suck it. You know what I'm saying? And then the fleshlight would be, girl, I'm just saying.
Girl, you better patent that before they take it away from you.
That is going to be such an amazing catchphrase.
Yeah, don't be a dick, just suck it. You know, like that's, and I say that.
I was gonna drink water,
too, like
but no.
Don't do it, because you will. And if I was a fleshlight, I would make sure every time they pull out, I would do the tongue pop. So it'd be like every time.
So good.
Yep.
So good. All right. So, what kind of character would you be in a horror movie?
I'd be the bitch that would leave immediately. Like, I wouldn't be the one that would have curiosity. I would be the one that's like, you heard what? Bye. Like, that would be me. I would, yeah. I mean, I think realistically, though, I would like, this is shady, but if I'm in a group of 10 people, and I have levels to the people I care about, right? Like, I have core friends, I have friends, and I got associates or people I'm acquainted with, right? That nothing against them, but like you just, our relationship is not that deep. I'm running the other way, but I'm grabbing my core friends. And I'm like, no, bitch, what the fuck are we going over there to hear something that sounds sus as fuck at night? And I'm half black? No, you got me fucked up. The black ones die first. We going this way, bitch, okay? That would be me. That would be me. Or if I couldn't, what?
I was gonna say, but what if you can't get your core friend to go with you?
No. I'm very manipulative. And I'm very convincing. So that's not that. I'm not concerned about getting them to go with me. I have full faith in my abilities to make them go with me. If I have to knock a hoe down to make her toe break so that I have to carry her, fine. But if we can't escape the situation, I think I would be the person that would like hide somewhere real like sneaky and wait for them to pass and attack their ass. Like I wouldn't be the one that would like run. I don't like being helpless. You know what I mean? Like I'm the one that's like, I'm done with you. Like you got me to that point. Like I might die. I'm fighting you back, but I can't fight you face on. I gotta wait and be sneaky. I gotta catch a
So you're gonna be sneaky and then come out screaming, "Don't be a dick, just suck it." Waving the dildo. Like...
Yes! And then, exactly. Beating him with a vibrator. Yo, and again, the rabbit one had that little clit thing, so if you hit him in the eye, you can blind them. And then put it on, like, full blast. I would fuck them up.
Oh, my God. Okay. So then I did this question specifically for you. What is the weirdest thing an Uber or a taxi driver told you?
You shady bitch. You had to be at my show hearing me talk about sucking dick. Okay, I can't stand you, bitch. The weirdest or craziest thing I've heard, oh my God. Like, some of the things I've heard from the Uber drivers aren't too weird because you can hear them at the Eagle. You know what I'm saying? So I think the weirdest thing I've heard from, it was just like, one of the Uber drivers, so I had an accent, he was like, what do you say? Like, he's from a different country. I forgot which country he's from. But he was like, he's looking at me because I was in drag. I had just finished a gig. And you know how they are. They'll look at the, like, rear view mirror and they just keep glancing. But then you kind of gauge how they're glancing at you, like whether you're in danger or if they like it or they're curious about it. So he would look and like he kept smiling. Like there was a look of curiosity. I was like, here we go, bitch. Yeah, another chaser. Yay. And then he asked me how my night was. He's like, oh, what do I do? Da, 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 da. And then when I was telling him, I was like, oh, like I just had a gig, da, 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 da. And he was like, oh, so you're gay, right? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, are you like one of those, and he says like the T word, right? And I was like, no, I'm not a trans woman. I'm just a drag queen. And he gets into the sexual things. And then the weirdest thing I think for me was that we were like talking a little bit. And then I'm like, do you have a wife? Of course. A wife and 3 kids. I said, okay, cool. But he was still kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. And the Uber was $64. So bitch, I was like, girl. So anyways, I was like, oh, he's like, what are you doing after when we get to my house? And I said, oh, I'm going to bed. But he was like, do you want to hang out? And I said, oh. I can attest to this too because she was in the car. I told Sarai to get out the house, to get out the car, go upstairs. I told him, I said, listen, before we hang out, cancel the Uber. He said, what? I said, cancel the Uber. I said, you want to hang out? I'm dead ass, bitch. I told you I'm a businesswoman. And listen, this is going on podcast. I don't care. I said, cancel the Uber. And he goes, I said, if you want me to hang out with you, which I know what that means, cancel the Uber. So he canceled the $64 Uber. But when he goes down the block to park, he goes, oh, can my friend join me? That was the weirdest thing because in my head I was like, you're an Uber driver. How you, like, first of all, you picked me up from all the way downtown, right? You're an Uber driver. I don't know where you live. Second of all, how you gonna invite a friend? Like, were they following you the whole time when you were doing your rounds? Like, I was like, no. But all I will say is that it was a lovely drive. He got 5 stars, but it was canceled, so it was 5 stars in my mind, and I saved $64.
As you should. As you should.
I just had a similar experience, like a couple months ago. I think I texted you about it. Well, I don't remember. But mine wasn't asking any questions at all. He got straight to it. He picked me up from, I think it was the Ritz. He picked me up from there, right. And he like you said, you know, looking back, looking at the rear view mirror, and then he just said, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "Yes." And all he said after that was like, "Do you want to suck it?" That's all he said.
Yeah.
That's all he said.
Maybe, and I respect it. I don't know. Maybe for some people that seems disrespectful, and it could, right? Because like, why are you? But like, sometimes get to the point. I'm tired, you know. And like I said, I don't hook up in drag, but I did keep the wig on because I was like, this is fancy, and I'm trying to get $64 free. So I will do things for money. I'm telling y'all, businesswoman. But when it comes outside of that, I'm not fucking in drag. I don't. That's not my thing, right? But sometimes just, you know, say it. And girl, I guess I want to suck your dick, you know? And sometimes, and if I don't,
no, I didn't though.
But like at the same time, girl, and it's okay. You don't got to, you know, like it's, no, I don't know. Right. I mean, yes, it's like inappropriate because it's business. It's a taxi drive, right? But I feel like queer people are just inappropriate anyway. Our culture is already inappropriate in the eyes of others, but also, we have parties called circuit parties where people will do whatever fun activities okay, around security guards, and then they will get on their knees. I might be talking about myself, and blow the hottest muscle queen in the middle of the dance floor, and no one gets kicked out. We are crazy. So you know what? If my Uber driver offers his dick and it's cute and he looks good, fuck it. If his family gets ruined because of it, that's not my fault. That's yours.
It's true. Yeah. All right. So one last question from the besties. What's next for Inita D?
Oh, girl. What's immediately next is the next gig on Friday at Hush. I think, and continuing to heal, like I said, I just got back. I'm slowly getting back to the drag. I'm doing drag part-time. I'm only doing it weekly on Fridays at Hush for the viewing party. And then I'm not going back to full-time drag until like June. So I'm working at I teach swimming too. So I'm doing that full-time now and like easing my way because my knee still needs to heal and it still needs to strengthen and stuff. But I think what's next for me, two things next for me is I want to continue doing podcasts and stuff. I really like this whole thing. Like, y'all don't understand. Thank you all again, first and foremost. I love this part. Like, because I can't do that at my shows all the time. I can't really like tell all of the things I want to talk about or banter all the time because there's a show that has to happen, you know, especially when it's a viewing party. I want to do that. I want to get more into that, doing interviews. And I want to get more into doing choreography, like being booked to choreograph numbers. I've had a few projects besides just the wedding one, which I love. And I think the ultimate, for now, the ultimate goal, because I think goals always change and evolve, is the next thing for me that I'm working towards and hopefully can is to get on TV and get famous one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be, because I want to do this everywhere. I want people to hear my banter. I want people to know that it's okay to suck that Uber off for $64 to save on your pocket because of the tariffs in this country.
Listen, yeah. I mean, listen.
The world deserves to hear it. Like,
yes.
It's a very depressing world right now. We need some fun.
I mean, start a podcast. That's what we did. Like, at the end of the day, all you got to do is just start it. It could be You Need the Tea with Inita D. Like, it is just. I know, well, you know I'm a marketing genius. I know.
Girl, you succeeded at it. The thing is, I do my Anita rants on my stories, which y'all probably have seen, you know, and that fulfills the desire for me to talk to just anyone. I like more being on other people's podcasts and getting interviewed. I like that more. I'm not so much being the one to interviewer, but what I do want to get into more, and I'm not going to say full details, I don't want anyone to take my idea, is I like doing reviews of things, okay? Like, when you see, like, the Toot and Boot and stuff like that, like, I love that. So I'm thinking that's one thing I want to work on, but not specifically for fashion. For a different area that ties into my name, I want to be reviewing things like that fall around in it. Yep. And girl, because that be sickening. I just got to make sure it could be on platforms because it's not family, it's not PG.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Rate That Day with Inita D.
That's also really good too. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, friends, that has been all of Inita D. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode of No Ma'am. And
single one.
Until next time, y'all. Listen, you heard what she said. She said what she said, y'all. Until next time.
Cheeks hurt.
Bye, y'all.